June 21st, 2017. You are watching MMA Junkie Radio, and we have a fun show for you today, but it's going to revolve around you guys mostly because we've been kind of guest-heavy, so we're going to chill a little bit. We have Brian Foster on. We had his opponent on yesterday, John Fitch. So we hear Brian's side of the story, how he sees this fight playing out. We'll talk to him. But for the most part, we want to have discussions with you guys. Call in. Get in the queue now, because there's plenty of time. And let's make it a fun show. I'm in a good mood today. Talking a lot of trash, making people pissed. Or, did you say that, or did you say pissing people off? Pissing people off, mostly Danny. Danny, you there? You still walking around your stupid studio?
I'm here. I'm here.
All right, so did you get that picture I sent you?
I did not.
Didn't?
Maybe I did.
It went to your phone.
I know, but wow, my hair looks crazy right now. Let's see. Hold on.
Yeah, look that
Hold
up.
on. Hold on. I did get the picture. What the fuck?
So that's me above them, right?
I see that.
And the girl on the left. So she was bagging on me saying that could I look any meaner? And so I just jokingly told her, well, that was the day that I found out that MTV's not going to show music videos anymore. And then I told her, what'd they tell you when they took your guys' picture, that the Gap will be open 1 hour later on Saturdays or something like that? If you look at their outfits, they're totally gappy, right?
Yeah, I agree.
So it's a good 1996 burn, which is
It
my
was.
specialty,
Did you
really, 93 through 97.
That was when you were Burn King?
Oh, yeah.
Did you, by the way, did you tell everybody the zing you got me with already?
I don't remember how the conversation went, but I just remember
The conversation was that it's not as cool. Where I am is not as cool. By the way, we're up in a minute. Is not as cool as the real Junkie Radio studio.
No, I think you said glamorous. That's how we got to.
Oh, not as glamorous, right? And then
I,
what did
I
you
called
say?
yours glam chowder.
Glam chowder. That's it.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
But I
I'm
didn't
gonna log off.
probably.
I'm gonna log off on my Facebook live stream. Everybody go to the MMA Junkie Radio live stream right now to not only hear the show but to hear the pre-show. All right. See you guys later.
So now it's like a co-promotion.
Yeah. Well, I put that mine was crossing T's and dotting I's. It's before MMA Junkie Radio. We're coming up in 30, by the way.
Yeah, George's here. Just off to the side.
Oh, okay.
George, you see all that?
All right, guys. Coming up at 10.
No, I talked to her and I go, look, I'll take it. This is last
Stand
week.
by.
I go, but look at all this. And she laughed and she goes, oh, yeah, okay, this is way too much for you guys. And sure enough, man.
This is your captain speaking. We are making our descent into Las Vegas McCarran Airport. On behalf of our crew, we'd like to thank you for flying MMA Junkie Airlines. Now please fasten your seatbelts and put your tray tables in your upright position because the descent is gonna be a little bit bumpy.
Alright, Junkie Nation, it's time to roll, baby, on MMA Junkie Radio with Gorgeous George and Go. This is what we doing while we do it, baby. All night long, we rollin'! Yeah!
The MMA Junkie Radio revolution is upon us.
Can you dig it?
There's no escape. No escape. Through the vast frontier of cyberspace and through a sea of stars in outer space.
One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
We've solidified our combat communications stranglehold.
We are controlling transmission.
With the use of MMA Junkie Radio and SiriusXM satellite radio technology. MMA Junkie Radio. Commence transmission. Live from MMA Junkie Radio HQ in the fight capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada. Here are your hosts, Gorgeous George and Go.
From the fight capital of the world, inside the beautiful Mandalay Bay Race and Sportsbook, you are listening to the MMA Junkie Radio Show, the only show that matters. I'm your host, Gorgeous George, with me as always, is the devious and dastardly Goes. Our East co-host, back east, handling all the producing duties today. It's Danny, I think. Victoria, I don't know. One of them. What's up, guys?
Wow.
It's Danny.
I know. What's up, Danny?
Not much. How's it going?
Good. You have any gigs this weekend?
I do not. We're actually going to be trying out a new bassist really soon, so we kind of took a break this month.
My cousins keep bugging you. Bugging me. They want to see you in concert.
I want to hang out with your cousins again. Tell them to come over here.
Why do you go through so many band members though? What are you, Van Halen?
I don't know. I tell everybody as soon as they're like thinking about joining the band that I'm like, it's going to suck. It's a lot of work for very little profit, but it's what I want to do, and if it's what you want to do, then it's worth it. And they always go, oh yeah, I want to do it. And then it just seems like somebody breaks. Somebody gets to the point where they're just like, I can't do this anymore. I can't practice once a week. I can't do gigs all the time.
Just once a week? That's all you ask for, and they can't do that?
For practice, and then it's like every other weekend I usually ask about gigs, and yeah.
Jesus. So now you got to go through a bassist.
What they think they were gonna? What they think they were gonna join? I mean, you got to practice to perform well, right? And every other weekend doesn't sound too bad. I mean, if you love music, I would think that's what you want.
Yeah, what was he thinking?
Yeah, you got me. This one I think really just kind of burned out, but I don't know. Yeah, I guess they just don't understand how much work it's actually going to be in a working band. I don't know. So.
All right. I was trying to get Richard to try out because he used to play guitar.
Oh, yeah.
But Danny wasn't feeling it, and I think Richard probably wouldn't have done as well as I was promoting him,
Uh-huh.
But I just wanted to see if they'd go through it. Put him in a rough spot. All right, I'll do it. Can you come on Sunday at 2 p.m.? And then Danny would write me an email, dude, why'd you put me? Why'd you do that to me? Your cousin was awful.
Yeah, at least you'd have a
And then my cousin would go there and go, man, I humiliated myself. And then I'd just sit back and laugh, right, for orchestrating it all.
Say, excellent.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there is that 0.01% chance that I suppose some people are giving Connor, for example, to outbox Floyd, where Danny could go, dude, he's good. And Richard says, hey, man, we clicked. I'm in the band. But
how many times do you get asked about Connor and Floyd per day?
If you include the comments on Facebook that I'm answering.
Face to face.
Not that much. I mean, just here on the show, interacting here at Mandalay Bay. But once I get home, I guess it did come up yesterday at Audi. So I would say, wherever I go, if I'm at Mandalay Bay, it should come up if my occupation comes up. If I'm at Audi, it should come up if the occupation comes up. And then amongst my friends via texting and tweet if there's updates, maybe. But yesterday, the big thing for us, me and the buddies were talking about the Lakers and the trade they made. Yeah. So we kind of got away from that. But, for the most part, I guess every day there's some sort of interaction somewhere.
It's 10:06. I've been asked 4 times.
Really?
4.
Okay. Here at Mandalay Bay, probably.
Here at Mandalay Bay.
And what kind of questions? Does he have a chance? Is it really going down?
Mostly, does he have a chance? That sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Kevin Ioli, who I respect a lot from Yahoo Sports, he wrote an article today, and he's saying, let's just toast McGregor for wanting to do something like this and being able to actually pull it off. Anderson Silva wanted to box Roy Jones Jr., but the UFC didn't really want to let him do it. When Conor McGregor wanted to box, the UFC was all for it. Different situations, a different regime, Zuffa and WME, IMG. But I'm starting to embrace the side of entertainment, once in a lifetime. Just go with it, So I'm going with it. But if I do get stopped and asked, does he have a chance? I keep it real. I keep it 100. No, he doesn't. But am I going to tune in? It appears so. We've started to already get some invites. I'm definitely not paying for it. If I pissed off every person on earth and I was just the biggest loner living by myself, nope. No problem not watching it. No problem not watching it if I have to pay for it. But invite, sure, I'll show up with the 24-pack or the 12-pack or the beans and dip or whatever they ask me to. I'll show up.
My exaggerations have gotten worse.
Let's have a good laugh.
Like, how we would say, Floyd Sr. could go in and beat him, that sort of thing. My newest one is if you gave Connor a training camp and Floyd had a week to get ready, I still think Floyd would beat him. Maybe not mop the floor, but beat him relatively soundly, I think.
Your only question then would be just, is he in shape? Right,
I think
Floyd?
He needs to be, yeah. At his pace, like, he doesn't really push that big of a pace. He's always roughly in shape.
Yeah, and this isn't to shit on Conor, man. It's not.
That's what people
He's
don't
a
get.
remarkable mixed martial artist, world champion. We followed him since Cage Warriors. We used to love to have him on the show. I mean, he makes the sport so entertaining, whether it's just a simple Instagram or post or a tweet, or when he has those press conferences, whether it's leading up to a fight or a hashtag press conference. I mean, he's just running it. You know what I mean? It's hilarious. You tune in for that. But in a straight-up boxing match, I mean, it's just not going to work. Imagine GSP, who has outstanding wrestling for MMA, just saying, I would like to compete versus Jordan Burroughs. Times Square, they have these big dual meets, and I would like to do it, and there's going to be a lot of money at stake. And all right, cool. Go out there and do it, but do I give you a chance? Not really. I think it's something pretty similar. He's getting paid a lot of money. I can't blame Floyd for taking it because he's getting paid a lot of money, and same goes for Conor. I still believe Conor will come back to MMA. Here's the one thing that I think we haven't chatted about much that I do have a problem with is that 50-0 is going to break a record. Rocky Marciano, I believe, is the one that holds it right for most undefeated fights without a loss. Yeah, and I don't think that's the one to do it on. But they're calling it. It is a professional bout at 12 rounds. Yeah, that's the part where you're just like, whatever, And if people are gonna tell me he doesn't care about the belts and he's a money guy, he's a prize fighter. All right, cool. Well, then don't consider this a record then. Hopefully you feel the same way about that. Go out and get your payday. That's cool. You deserve it, because if you and another guy can stimulate, that type of buzz and then there's millions of people out there that I will actually pay to see this, then how can I fault you? If you were to tell me, George, believe it or not, we can make millions if you grab my legs and we just do the wheelbarrow across the strip. You want to do it? I go, God, that's fucking dumb. People will actually pay for that? And you go, yeah, they'll pay for it. Let's do it. I'd say, all right, I mean, it's going to be hot and we'll do it, and your hands are probably going to burn and my back's going to give out, but I guess if people are willing to pay for it, let's do it.
If they told me, hey, you put away a couple hot dogs there on 4th of July, want to face Kobayashi for this much money? I'm in. I would do it. I would be a fool. I would throw up everywhere, but I would do it. It's all about money.
Yeah.
But here's the way I look at Floyd Mayweather and his record. When people ask him, so who'd you break the record against? There's no way around saying, you'd have to say Conor McGregor, the MMA guy. You don't say the boxer. He only had one fight. It was against me.
Yeah.
I was undefeated, and I mopped the floor with him. I don't think he would have the balls to go, another boxer named Conor McGregor. He would say the MMA guy. And because he would say that, I feel like it's just not valid.
What I do hope is that the competitive juices come back, and that if Pacquiao wins, when does Pacquiao fight? Got it right here. I got that right here. Versus, you know what that's from?
Yeah, it's somebody pulling money out because they were.
It's a tough one.
They were insulted.
I got that right here.
Fuck. Give me a little bit.
All right. You won't get it. It's a tough one. But when I tell you, you'll go, oh. In fact, most millennials will go, what movie's that? I never heard of that
Nino
movie.
Brown, maybe? Or
Manny Pacquiao fights on July 1st. Oh, shit. Sooner than I thought. Minus 625, by the way, as of yesterday morning. Plus 450 for Jay Horn. I don't even know who Jay is. Joe Horn? The former NFL receiver? I don't know. Updated odds on McGregor and Mayweather as of yesterday. I didn't get today's printout, but is it up, guys? We're here at the Mandalay Bay Race and Sportsbook, so all we have to do is rubberneck and see it somewhere. All right, the lines will move, and maybe it'll pop up. They have baseball up. And they have basketball.
It ain't on this side, so if it ain't over there, it's not up.
Okay. As of yesterday, shouldn't have moved too much. Floyd Mayweather minus 725. Conor McGregor plus 475. Now, here's what Mike Pereira told me. sportsbook manager. He said, we opened up here at 1,200. Floyd's down to 725. That means to win $100, you had to walk up and go, here's 1,200. I'm willing to wager on Floyd to win the boxing match. They would return 100 to you. You'd walk away with 1,300. You walk up with 12, you walk away with 13. Now all you got to do is walk up with 725, and you walk away with 825. So there's less risk. However, Conor McGregor, I don't know what the comeback was on 1,200. I would
Probably
imagine.
7, right?
Yeah, I would imagine about 7. Now you only get back 475. So money's coming in on Conor. That's why the line's moving. So they're trying to say, we need to balance this thing out. Let's entice more Floyd action. So they're lowering the Floyd action, and they're lessening the payout on Conor McGregor. There's a lot of people that have faith out there in Conor McGregor, and I think a lot of it comes from the fact that he's done amazing things in MMA. 13-second knockout of Jose Aldo. I mean, these events come and goes. And so we come back on a Monday and go, wow, can you fucking believe it? All-time great Jose Aldo was laying out there. Conor McGregor, he did it. You know, and then what's the next card? You know, and the next thing you know, there's another card that we start worrying about, and Mike Bond throws out some facts, MMA history, you know, a year ago today in 13 seconds, and then, you know, you stand back and go, well, that was an amazing feat. But it all just gets, like, you know, shoveled like snow. All right, get it out of here. That's amazing, and what he did to Eddie Alvarez is amazing. I think a lot of people just have this incredible faith that this guy is superhuman. You know, maybe he's got that mental edge, and Floyd's going to have doubts walking in, and Floyd's going to taste that big left, and that'll be that. And for it to go from 1,200 to 725, that's pretty major action on Conor McGregor.
Do you hear when people ask him about trash talk? Oh, we'll use the Nick Diaz fight. You know, what did you think of Nick and what he said? And he always says, I've already heard that before. I heard that from the last guy. I saw that from the last guy. I saw that from the guy before him. That's Floyd Mayweather. He's heard everything, and he's seen everything. Zab Judah tried to get in his head. Didn't work. Oscar De La Hoya tried to. Didn't work. Those are probably like the guys that I think have come the closest. Maidana. The dude's just seen everything, man. I don't think anybody's going to get in his head.
It has been 18 months. And he does have a big 4 in front of his age now. Before it was, you know, the 30s, and obviously the males start to slow down in the 30s, but considerably slow down in the 40s. That's a factor. But you know, this guy's he's just got retention of all the skills he's learned. I'm sure he dons the gloves even when he wasn't actively training and still hits the bag or does mitts. I mean, he's got a gym here in Las Vegas, a father, an uncle who will hold pads for him, and a plethora of sparring partners. You know what I mean? So it's I don't know. I'm just not seeing it, guys. I really ain't. And I know a lot of MMA fans are like, you know, everyone's got a puncher's chance. Suppose that's true. I suppose that's the .01, but why am I going to back down from 0% to 0.1? All right, you got 0.1. You know, why am I going to back down? I just think there's no chance, but it will be entertaining. I will concede that. And Kevin Iole said, to finish out what I started in that article, it's like at least the guy is trying it. At least the guy has the balls to go out there and try it. You know, and that's something
in front of a lot of people with a lot on the line.
Yeah, but you know, it is $100 million. The payday's nice, and we keep assuming that. I don't know what it is, but I bet you there's at least 50 guaranteed, and then if those pay-per-views really go where they think, it could probably go 100 or maybe more.
I heard there's a cap on it.
Is there?
Yeah.
On what Conor can make?
Yeah.
Okay. Do we know the number?
Somewhere between 80 and 60.
That's the most he can make?
Yeah.
Okay. That's not disappointing in any way, right?
Give half to Uncle Sam. Well, almost. But he gets sponsorship.
Yeah.
I mean, think about how many times have we seen Canelo with Tecate? He doesn't even drink that.
He doesn't?
Nah. We drink that over here. They don't drink that over there.
Brian Foster will join us in a few minutes, so let's take some calls. And that way we can get through, you know, not having to make people wait too long. 866-522-2846. We'll talk to Brian Foster. He's John Fitch's opponent for PFL, which is taking place on June 30th. And then I'm telling you, we left it wide open. We had 7 guests between Monday and Tuesday's show, so we left it wide open to do a catch-up on McGregor versus Mayweather. Anybody that wants to talk about, Tim Hague and that situation. He lost his life over the weekend in a boxing match. And then I found some audio that's very interesting, goes, about an interview that Pat Miletich did. And when he explains what he thinks happened, according to, him knowing that area and also having spoken with his twin brother, Mark, I believe is the name, right? Mark Hughes.
Yeah, Matt Hughes' brother.
I think it may quell the thoughts of those that fear that maybe Matt may have had other intentions, So we'll do that in the second hour. And then I also want to kind of put to bed a conversation we had yesterday about Jermaine Durandamy getting stripped and how that didn't apply to the others and why they all had different reasons. But I think what I want to do is say, if we were the commissioners or the president, what would we do? Now that we gathered the information and put the thoughts down, what would be the final call? And that's something that we didn't do. I think we touched on. We started getting calls, and I want to do that because I thought that was a pretty interesting convo. On Facebook, there was a lot of reaction to it. I go in after the show. I'm not able to, during the show, chat like others. It only gives me the option to like or do something else. I can't reply. So I have to wait till the show's over, and then I go in there, and I'm able to reply, and then I put a quick plug for anything that's happening with our site or, social media, and then I bounce, But anyway, it's going to be a fun show, and right now I want to jump on the calls. Let's start off with, did you want to say something?
Just a quick plug.
Sure.
So I think we're going to be in Orange County for Jones Cormier, right? Whether it's on Friday or it's a little earlier, but we will be there at some capacity, right?
It appears that way, yeah.
Yeah. So seems like it's going to be a good group of junkies out there. We don't really get to connect too much with the SoCal junkies as much as we used to. But anybody who isn't going to the fights that has plans to watch the fight somewhere, I think it may be time to start getting those wheels churning. There's Dodgers-Giants at Dodger Stadium the night before. So if anybody's down for something like that, I'm down as well.
By the way, remind me if we have time later in the show to bring up two topics. The real 2500 show and the Las Vegas Raiders.
I'll write it down.
All right. Brandon from Louisville, what's up?
So McGregor Mayweather. Anybody talking about this fight yet? We want to go into it because I haven't heard anything about it yet.
Let's dive into
it. No. Real reason I want to call the Jermaine Durandamy statement. The biggest thing that stood out to me on it was they said because she wasn't facing the top contender, she refused to fight against the top contender.
Right.
And why that doesn't apply to Bisping, and really shouldn't to DJ, but it kind of does. Who determines the top contender?
The UFC.
Well, the media that votes
Exactly.
for the UFC rankings. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but yeah, the UFC, I guess, in the end, well, they make the final call on who they're fighting. They, I think, apply it when it's convenient. I say, well, he's number one, of course. But it's media that votes for, select media that votes for the UFC rankings. Yeah.
But like I say, people saying Bisping hasn't fought the top contender. He's fought whoever the UFC put in front of him. In their mind, he's fought the top contender. As far as I know, Bisping hasn't outright rejected a Romero fight, a Jacare fight. Now, he might have said, hey, how about this GSP fight instead? But as far as we know, he hasn't said no to the top guy that they presented him.
Yeah, I agree. It does. I agree.
But enough about that. The real story, Mayweather-McGregor. This is going to be awesome, guys. Can you wait? It's only like 2 months away. I can't wait for 2 full months of nothing. Matter of fact, this is no longer MMA Junkie Radio. This is McGregor-Mayweather Radio. Let's blast it out.
Let's do it. Well, today's June 21st, and the fight's on August 26th. So this will be some sort of a countdown. I wish we had one of those where we could just flip the paper and just rip it. Like 8 days left, 7 days to just kind of get it over with.
Samuel Jam?
Yeah, I'll be Samuel Jam, whoever, man.
We
but
can do that.
It is a little painful, like, when people bring it up. It just seems like there is interesting news that comes out. And thank you, Brandon, for the call. For example, McGregor will not have to wear Reebok. Mm-hmm. So think about how lucrative that could get for him on that night. And from an interview that Adi Attar did, his manager, I believe on the MMA Hour, he revealed that when asked about like a potential Nike, that hinted that perhaps some talks are happening there.
Well, you got to imagine a big cat will come from Ireland, right? Some company there, I would imagine, would probably show him some love. And then you have your Budweisers, those type of people that I think, why not, right? It's one of the biggest things that's going on right now. There's nothing else really going on in sports. Spend your money there. During the break, I'll tell you one I do know. It's not that lucrative, but it's interesting.
Okay. One more. Let's do back-to-back Kentuckys. This is Brian from Louisville, Kentucky. What's up, Brian?
Hey, what's up? I want to talk about the Mayweather-McGregor fight.
All right, let's do it.
All right, well, I've got Mayweather winning in, let's see, the 6th round. He's going to stop him. It's going to be stoppage. McGregor's going to gas out in the first 3 rounds, and Mayweather's going to toy with him for a couple rounds and finish him in the 6th.
I have it exactly the way you do. I think anywhere between 6 and 8, and for just about the same reasons. I think he's going to toy with him in the beginning, figure out what it is Connor's trying to do, the distance, all that. I think round 1, you're going to see a lot of Connor swinging and missing. Then I think he's going to tire out. Then I think Floyd's going to start picking him apart with a couple combinations here and there. And then, like he said, when you get to 6 through 8, I think that's where Floyd will realize this guy's out of his league,
right,
and put him away.
Round 1, possibly 2, will be a fun 3 to 4.5 minutes of the unexpected. And then I believe by the end of round 2, Floyd will have a smile on his face like, hey, watch what I'm about to do. And anywhere between that, and I like what Brian's saying, till about the 6th round. I was thinking maybe even by the 4th, there just, should be an elite boxer putting on a clinic and obviously finding holes and making it really, really difficult for, the boxing debut of Conor McGregor. And that'll be that.
Right. I also want to talk about Jermaine Durandame, how she got stripped of the belt.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of disagree with that because she was kind of cherry picking her fights, but what she wanted to do was hold the belt, but she knows she can't beat Cyborg. Cyborg is just on another level. She wanted to defend that belt maybe 1 or 2 times, then fight Cyborg.
Yeah, her stance was clear that Cyborg's past was just something that Durandame didn't trust the athlete, and she did not want to be involved in that. And of course, it's how you want to look at that. If somebody's going by the letter of the law and saying, well, she's got a point, then okay. And if somebody says, nah, she's scared, she's using that as an excuse, they probably have a point too. It's all, what side are you more on, I suppose. But that's just a division where she didn't have many options. So let's just say they gave her Susie Q, all right, and she beat Susie Q. 6 months later or 3 months later, they'd be going, all right, now what, Cyborg? Because Cyborg just probably eliminated someone. And even if she backed off, and said, give me Susie Q too, okay. I mean, at some point she had to deal with it. She had to realize, that this you hold a belt and you signed the contract, and so you represent this. So you had to know that was out there. Maybe she shouldn't have even gotten involved. I don't know. I mean, what's there really going to be to this reign? And then even circling back, what was the UFC thinking creating this without, I guess, see what I'm saying? There's fault everywhere. It's just a big mess. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Maybe Megan and Cyborg will have such a great fight, and 45ers will come out of the closet, and maybe the division will do great. But I just don't see it. I researched it pretty good, and there wasn't that many big names past like 6 or 8 where you could say, okay, we really have a building block here. We don't, man. And I just don't see much future here. Maybe Cyborg will just reign, and that's what they want. Is remember the Fabulous Moolah?
Yeah.
She didn't lose for 27 years in WWE. She'd get in there and she'd just grab hair and throw girls around until Wendy Richter. You know what I mean? Maybe it's just one of those mystique. Andre the Giant didn't lose for years, and that's something that the UFC can market. Like, hey, this is just a destructive force. No one can beat her, blah, blah, blah.
Maybe they can.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Brian, we got to move on, man. But thanks for the call. Good stuff. 2 great points. Call in more often, 866-522-2846. We're going to do this break. When we come back, we'll be talking to Brian Foster. If not, we'll take some calls. That's why I'm encouraging you to get in at 866-522-2846. It's MMA Junkie Radio on Sirius XM Rush 93.
How can I ever change things that I feel? If I could, maybe.
All right, you're on.
All right, let's see if there's any good comments here in the Facebook chat. We can address them right now while we're during commercial. We're doing our Sirius XM 5-minute commercial.
Jesus,
Which one do I look at? That one or that one?
They're both on. Oh,
what's happening about Ice Cube booking the T-Mobile on the same day? That's a great topic, actually. We did an article on that.
We said that from day one.
He's holding out for more money, right?
Yeah.
I guess you can't blame him. Hold out. Like, do you rake them over the coals and go, hey, you guys are about to rake in some millions, give me mines? Or do you, I mean, I don't know. I think it'd be kind of cool to be in with AEG over here and MGM over here and TMT and you know, like, hey, pay me something, but consider it a solid that I didn't rake you over the coals, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Who knows? Maybe that's what makes me a non-cutthroat. Right? Ice Cube?
Yeah. If for some reason the fight got delayed or something like that. Like,
and I heard that that's a possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why 12 rounds, not 10? It won't make a difference, but good question. Why not 6 rounds or 4 rounds? I guess because it's, you know, you're asking for $100 out of all this, and so I think they have to treat it like, hey, this guy's a legitimate foe to the guy that's trying to break the record. It's a standard 12 rounds. There are no
Listen
belts.
to the latest episode of this show or the rest of the SiriusXM Rush lineup anytime you want, on demand with the SiriusXM app. We know our geometry better than your high school math teacher. Octagons, rings, and square circles on SiriusXM Rush 93 and the SiriusXM app.
Luke is saying Triple G and Canelo's getting buried. I suppose. But right now, on June 21st, the longest day of the year, would we really be talking much about that anyway?
Not really.
If anything, their name gets brought up just by talking about the other fight. So I think they're not in danger. I've heard great interviews on the SiriusXM channel, the 93 channel, at the fights. They had Stephen A. Smith on, and he was saying that he believes the boxing audience is smart, and the ones that really cannot afford both events will pass on Mayweather, McGregor, and hold their money for Triple G and Canelo. They're not going to buy the other one and say, wow, we missed this one. And I tend to agree with that. And then there's obviously some people that can't afford both, and they'll get both.
Hey, George.
Yeah, sure. What's up? Hey, say it. What?
Hey.
Go ahead. We're
Sorry. I couldn't get Brian. He hasn't answered yet.
Okay.
You want to just send him a quick text and I'll call him a couple more times?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, I'll try him again.
Look, I think when the thing about Canelo and Triple G is that's not a matchup that's going to heat up because of any smack talk. For one, they don't even speak the same language, okay?
Mm-hmm.
When I think it will heat up a little bit is if you see like when Kellerman does like face-off, you know, something like that. I think will get everybody's juices going. But for the most part, this isn't a fight where you're going to see a press tour or anything like that. I mean, they're both pretty respectful guys. Canelo can be gangster when he wants to, but it's usually in Spanish, and by the time it's translated in English, it doesn't sound as fierce as what actually came out of his mouth.
Right.
So, like George said, we wouldn't be talking about it anyway right now. But I don't get it twisted. That's going to be a huge fight too.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I don't think people would be talking about it today if this, you know, if it wasn't for this other thing going on. So I don't think it's suffering yet. We'll see as we get closer to the event. I don't think the pay-per-views will suffer much. And I mean, yeah, I'm a non-TV guy, that's for sure. That's just my opinion.
30 seconds, George. Okay, so was it somebody that like screwed something up and they told him like, you got to pay for that? And he said, I got that right here. Something like,
oh.
God, I know this, George. I just can't, I don't know where it's coming
That guy's
from.
coming back in 5.
So, tell you?
Yeah.
No Brian yet, by the way. I'll keep trying him.
Okay. It's Porky's.
When he breaks the thing?
Yeah.
They taught Andy Griffith how to whistle. Here are Gorgeous George and Goze.
So Goze asked me, what's the name of the movie you just quoted? I got that right here. It's Porky's.
Mm-hmm. Why was he mouthing off like that? I mean, you had to have known that when you brought out whatever it was you brought out. What was it? I think it was $200, right? Was
yeah.
The first one. You knew he was going to do it to the next one and then something else. Like, you're already in a jam.
So he should have just
He
said,
thought he could buy his way out of the whole thing?
Yeah, what's the whole fine so I can just pay it?
Jesus, yeah.
Yeah, that's a great movie. That's one of those, what do you call it, like a frat boy type movie. In the 80s, it was really popular where just young guys were in situations where they're trying to get laid. Whether
kind of like your generation's American Pie, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Something like that, right?
Porky's, Class, My Tutor.
Fast Times.
And what was the other one, too? I think they just called it Spring Break. That had a series as well. But this one was pretty funny. And one of the girls that moved on to Sex and the City, so like 25, 30 years later, Kim
Cattrall?
She was in it.
In Porky's?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
She's in it. And I don't think it really put out many actors, you know, like the movie School Ties.
Mm-hmm.
You know how a lot of actors came from that?
Yeah.
Well, this movie, Porky's, you thought it would have produced, you know, future stars, and I guess it didn't.
Not The Outsiders?
Yeah, The Outsiders was a good one. Let's see here. Why did it tell me I just got a text? All right, I sent something to Brian Foster. We'll see if we hear back from him. In the meantime, we'll just keep plugging away here. Start off with Hal in Chiclayo. What's up, Hal?
Hey, Brian from Louisville. He forgot to give you his other prediction. He's got the Globetrotters over the Generals, too.
Brian from Louisville is
by
far the best caller from Louisville, right?
What was predictions again? It was Mayweather and what else?
Just Mayweather.
Oh, okay.
Mayweather.
He had another point. I forget what it was. Oh, yeah.
Well, at least he
Jermaine
picked the round. What do you want from him?
Yeah, he got a few details in there. Hal?
I'm just a hater on this topic. But, never mind, Connor.
The
good for him.
Globetrotters. The Globetrotters is always a nice fallback, right?
Yeah.
Give me Fedor against Zulu Zinho and parlay them to the Globetrotters. So what's on? What's up?
And Gigi, thanks for waiting to let My Sharona play. I mean, I don't like that song, but somebody requested it. Wait, no. When's listener picks? Is that Thursday?
No, I think that's today.
It is
right?
Thursday, yeah.
No,
it is Thursday?
It is Thursday. Wow.
What's today?
George
today's
knew it
way
better
back.
than you.
Sorry,
Yeah.
today's way back.
It's the 70s.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, I'm glad you let that song play out. I think sometimes you have a habit of talking over the song right away, but then you'll let, like, Jackson 5, like, boop, 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 or something like that, you know, and you're like, oh, this is my jam. And you'll let that one go. But
all right, so some of those, you're right, it's just my personal preference, I guess. Ricky Bones told me a long time ago. He said, have fun with it. He goes, if you want to play 2 minutes of a song, do it. If you want to come in right away, do it. A lot of times, this is the one time I guess I was unprofessional. I'll reveal to you. Yesterday, Audi kept my car for a whole day, and I was a little pissed about it. And I could tell the 702 number that came through, I didn't recognize it. I had a feeling it was them. It was a 45-second message, and I started about 15 seconds before we came back. So I did let that play out. If you're watching Facebook yesterday, I had the phone up to my ear, and I was just wanting to hear. What I didn't want to hear is for them to go, that'll be $200 or anything like that, because I just bought the damn thing. But they were just letting me know that the car was ready. We did this, we did that, we did this, we did that. So for personal reasons, I did it that time. Other times it's because I like the jam. And then finally, this happens maybe 25% of the time, I'm actually texting a fighter and letting them know we made the first attempt, the second attempt, or where we're at, or we're giving them the hotline number for them to call in. So I'm just playing around with that, and it's no offense to the musical artist.
There's another one, too. There's the silent game, where you try and see how long you can go before me and Danny actually say something.
I haven't done that one in a while, but yeah, that's been played.
Okay. Hey, yesterday we got in a little brawl in our junkie Facebook chat, and we were arguing about, stealing pay-per-views. People that you got the guys that stream it versus the guys that always pay for it, and we all know officially, you guys got to protect the industry and encourage everyone to buy it and not do anything illegal. We got that, but let's talk real now. Don't you think UFC almost has it coming? I mean, I know UFC sometimes they're listening. I highly recommend, and I'm sure they've explored this. They're way smarter than me about this topic. But why haven't they done what the WWE does? They copy everything else the WWE does. Why don't you go to a subscription service by now? Charge me $20 a month. Shit, charge me $25 a month. I probably would still pay it if you included all the pay-per-views. Why are we still doing this $60 a month? To see freaking pay-per-views that are barely passable for pay-per-views. I mean, have you heard of anything like that from talking to people? close by? Why they haven't done that, or how
do you
is that
know?
the crazy talk,
I think
or what?
I think Andrew Simon once said like eventually he believes that they will go that route. But
Mhm.
if I had to guess,
Yeah.
I'd say probably because Fight Pass didn't take off the way they thought it would early
Mhm.
on.
Mhm.
They had a lot of
Okay.
issues early on, as where WWE. It's not that much different today than it was.
Well, their number
day
was a lot
one.
lower too. Was it
Yeah.
9 or 14?
But they worked with it.
Or
and
let's
it's-
call it 10 or 15. Do you remember?
I don't remember, but it's almost. I don't want to say it's the exact same product, but it hasn't. I mean, they got it all right when they first started it.
Right.
I think UFC saw what WWE did and said, "We got to get on this quick," and maybe rushed it a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think eventually it'll
Okay.
probably be something like that.
So what WWE did too is they put their number low, which on the one hand you're thinking, but you're probably missing out on the people that like Hal that would pay 10, 20, or 25. But I think what they wanted to do was just cast the wide net and bring them in. And now I think they have 2 million subscribers per month. So it kind of has worked out in the long run
And
for
it's
them.
all theirs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
They don't have to share pay-per-view
but
revenue.
I think what happened with the UFC was they were still in the Ronda, which became Conor run. And think about it. Conor sold, I think, 1.5 for Diaz 1, 1.65 for Diaz 2, and then I think 1.5 again, or 1.2 for UFC 200. So they had a very lucrative year. They were trying to sell the company, and I think they knew that they could squeeze out, hundreds of millions of dollars per event. But I believe that once Conor sails into the sunset, and it appears Ronda has, if no one else steps up as the $1 million buy, then I think we'll see it. Because I've heard some TV people that I know, like Andrew Simon, hint at that's what their projections are, and some of these guys are often right, especially Andrew. What that number would be, I don't know, but I agree with Hal. Okay, I'm already giving you 10. Here's an extra 10. But now I'm getting all the pay-per-views. On top of the fact that UFC Fight Pass got off to a rough start, but now a lot of people are really digging it because they have a lot of original content on there, and so now you're seeing positive feedback. I think a lot of naysayers were against it from the beginning just because of how so much friction there can be from the UFC towards its fans at times, and a lot of it comes from Dana, so people just want to not support. But of course, like I mentioned the other day, I hate to keep using crack. We'll just use chocolate or something else as my example. But you like chocolate, you want to go back and get more chocolate, and that's that. But I think it's coming, Hal, and I think we're probably just a couple years away. Again, unless there's a new superstar in town, why would you get away from it? You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right, guys.
Okay.
Talk to you later.
Thank you, man. Let's go to Marco in Waco, Texas. What's up, Marco?
Marco from Waco, ¿qué pasa, Atos?
¿Qué pasa?
Hey, you guys talking about, how much Mayweather, McGregor going to get paid. And, McGregor doesn't have to wear Reebok and he's going to have sponsors. And, I put this question the other day, but you guys didn't have time to, discuss it. By the way, if McGregor is going to have a sponsor, he better get Guinness instead of Budweiser because, he Irish. But the fighters in the UFC have to wise up, man. I mean, they're allowing this guy to do whatever the hell he wants. And on a scaled-down version, on a small version, they need to realize, especially the champions, hey, I have to bring in money to this freaking company, too, because they like to put championship fights on every single pay-per-view. And if you're not giving me the money or if I'm not seeing the dollars, what is the point? I don't think it's going to happen, but if every single champion decided that they're going to sit down and not fight until they actually get paid accordingly, then the UFC might actually have a problem. But they need to wise up, man, scale down the thing, and I start getting paid proportionally because they're breaking the bank for McGregor. Man, it's ridiculous. And now he doesn't have to wear Reebok and can give sponsorship money. Yeah, and a little bit of a cry needs to happen right now. We'll let you guys tomorrow.
See ya. Well, I have said this. For an association or a union to take off, you do have to band together I think I used to say top 25, maybe the top 50 for sure. Without that, it means nothing. You can have the other 450 there, but it's the superstars, the headliners, co-headliners, they need to do it. Those are the important ones. And yeah, amongst them are the champions. Not all of them sell pay-per-views, but they're big stars. They're co-headliners and headliners, so you do need some of them. But again, now they're getting paid so well, or at least in their eyes they are. Not compared to Conor, they're not. But that why would they want to ruin that? And again, what if you sit out 2 years? Those are 2 years you didn't fight, which makes me think of Nick Diaz. Every time I see the Diaz brothers, I'm like, oh man, these are your early 30s going into your mid 30s. You're at a superstardom here. You know, God, you should be fighting once a year at least, and they're not doing it. But you just can't keep it up, and then those young guns come after you. I mean, who would have suspected goes? Anybody that would have said Garbrandt over Cruz? Okay, I'll respect that. But Garbrandt to demolish Cruz or to just own him like that, I don't think anyone would have guessed that. And that's what's going to happen as the sport gets younger. Is going to be just a lot of young guns that are going to take out a lot of these guys as the sport's getting younger. And, you know. So that's an alarm you can hear in the background.
I think somebody opened a door.
I think we're okay, yeah.
I mean, the thing is with champions, too, there's such a disparity between what they actually make, right? If you take maybe what Stipe Miocic makes per fight and compare it to what Cody Garbrandt makes, there's a big difference. Demetrius Johnson, right? One of the best fighters in the world does not make anything near what some of the other guys make. So it'd be tough to tell everyone to sit everybody down and say, we're going to take a year away from your life or 2 years or whatever. And some of those just got to the point. It's not like this isn't WWE where a guy's holding a belt forever, right? These belts are changing hands. So some of these guys are champions. They go, I haven't even defended yet. You want me to hold out already? This is what I've been waiting for.
Right.
So it's just never going to happen.
It looks tough. It looks tough. I don't see it for the next 5-10 years. I won't say never, but I still feel like we're 5-10 years away. And every once in a while you'll see these big waves when the fighters do stand up and push back. We had the MMAAA, late last year, and now you have a lot of people that, probably got together at the retreat and maybe, I guess these little mini unions, certain treatment of certain fighters, they can lash back there. I think a lot of people are backing Demetrius.
But how long does that last?
I don't know. It goes away.
All it takes is like something else to
your
happen
bills
and
keep
people
coming
forget.
in. Yeah, your bills keep coming in. It's a tough one, man. It really, really is a tough one. Look, I'll tell you what. This is kind of a little irritating. So let's take this break. We got to take it anyway. It's only 2.5 minutes long. We'll come back. By then, I think this should be sorted out. It's MMA Junkie Radio on Sirius XM, Rush 93.
Sounds like it's part of the song.
That's it. It's gone.
You know that scene in Star Wars where Darth Vader tells Luke he's his father? What if I walked in right after with my voice and was like, I'm your Uncle Walter. Can I get a lift home? That'd be crazy, right? Anyway, here George and goes.
All right, the alarm's gone, so we're safe. And you won't get irritated with us for hearing that over your speakers. Like Go said, it was probably just somebody opening a door they weren't supposed to. What we heard was when you hear the male voice, that's trouble.
Oh, yeah?
You didn't know that?
No.
When it's the female voice, it's like, ignore it. They'll sort it out. When
I
it's the
thought-
male voice, look around, start finding out a
Really?
certain door, yeah.
Who told you that?
I probably shouldn't say their name, but probably
okay.
someone in this area, you know, that works here.
Oh.
Oh, here we go again. What is it now?
She's just saying whatever.
Situation's been taken care of.
A minor incident. Go ahead.
Okay, we're good. Oh, there she
come
goes
on, you
again.
guys.
Three's the charm. All right. Eugene from LA is up next. What's up, Eugene? How you doing?
Hey guys, three things. First of all, rest in peace to Prodigy from Mobb Deep. That was really a sad day for hip hop. Number two, you guys were talking about the SoCal Junkie Gathering. I am 100% for it, and I will see you guys here when you guys do come here, and I'll hopefully go to that fight as well. And then number three, I actually have a question, and this is something I'm confused about. So when CM Punk wanted to fight somebody in the UFC, they had to give him somebody that was like a 1-0, 2-1 type of guy because he's new to UFC. Why is Conor McGregor going in with a 0-0 record and fighting probably the best boxer of all time? How is that able to be sanctioned?
Because CM Punk is new to combat sports altogether. Conor McGregor at least has competed and he's fought before. It's just
At high
different.
levels.
Yeah.
They said at high
but
levels.
I agree with you. I mean, there's been other instances where they haven't allowed something like that happen.
Right.
So,
James Toney somehow was able to trick, what was it, Massachusetts, that commission by saying, you know, I wrestled in high school. I forget what he said. But, you know, he came over with a high pedigree from boxing. He was a world champion in boxing. Conor was a world champion in MMA. CM Punk, I guess, was a world champion in sports entertainment. But luckily they only gave him a 1-0 guy. Or I don't even know if his opponent had a fight. No, he didn't. So, yeah. No, I guess he did have the one professional fight. I forget. I don't even care. But you know, James Toney's opponent was a former world champion, a UFC Hall of Famer, and Conor McGregor's is a world champion, future Hall of Famer as well. So, yeah.
I was surprised they gave him 12 rounds.
You know what? Honestly, just money, man. Money. You know, everyone stands to make so much money that you'll basically skim through the laws, the rules of the game, and go, where's the loophole? What can we say? Say it. Get out of here. Come on, make the fight happen, and that's that.
I mean, that's going to generate tons of money for Las Vegas. But what I was surprised with was 12 rounds. I thought maybe you'd get like 8 or 10.
I wonder if that's what they needed for well, I don't know. I shouldn't even say. I thought maybe for Floyd to actually break the record, you know, could he be part of a 10-round fight or an 8-round fight?
Well,
I mean, it's still professional.
Early on, though,
but
yeah, early on, those count on their record.
They
so.
do, yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what it, you know, how they marketed it anyway. There's no title at stake.
Even Rocky and Thunderlips was 3 rounds, wasn't it?
It was. You gonna watch it, Eugene? When it all said and done.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna watch Canelo. I'm gonna watch the Mayweather fight. I'll watch every UFC in the summer. I'm a fight fan. I will watch every single one of these fights.
All right, there you go.
Guy likes his
Thanks,
chocolate.
buddy, for the call.
And
sorry, Eugene, I didn't catch that. As far as, I mean, I guess it's a mini junkie gathering. You're not calling it a junkie gathering.
No. Yeah, let's squash that right now. No, it's we're just coming home. I mean, that's where we grew up. But from what I've heard there's quite a few people that are going to be in town for that. So
if we didn't take a day off, the day of the weigh-ins in Anaheim would be our 2500 show. But we are taking 3 days off, the 28th, the 29th, and the 30th of June, which would now set us back. But if somehow you wanted to do the 2500 show in Orange County, where we started, then we would need to do some original programming to make up for those 3 days, just so you know. The only way to do it would be in that Costa Mesa studio, which obviously would be just you and I and maybe a couple junkies because it's so packed. Doncho once got in there. So we'd probably have to use a codec. RJ Clifford has a codec. And maybe he could help out and then maybe find a spot out there. So I just don't know if that's something we want to deal with or not. 2,500 shows is big.
As long as we get to celebrate it.
What do you mean?
We've been celebrating a lot of shit lately, haven't we?
We have. I don't think we force-fed it. I mean, if people ask, we say it. I feel like the gathering was 10 years, 2,500 shows. But, for example, the video that Mike and the gang put together for us, most of them said 10 years. You know, I made the mistake of, in our 2,400 show, I just put it on Facebook. We got so many congrats. I felt, oh, shit. Once we throw 10 years at you, like 2 weeks later, you're going to go, again, look at these guys. They won't shut up. And even then, I knew 2,500 shows was still later in the summer. But
where would you broadcast from if you did it?
Well, either the Fighter Hotel, JT Schmidt's across the street from the pond.
I think
is one that stands out. The Tustin Brewery's always kind of been open to us. Remember we used to host parties there as well?
Yeah.
But Matt also moved. Matt also moved to another place in Tustin where we could do it. Could do it from Big Ralph's house.
That'd be fun too.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. He has no problem hosting either. I just don't know if he wants all these savages.
Danny's gonna have to have his finger on the bleeper though, won't he?
A little bit, yeah. All right, folks. You know, I think we may have struck out with Brian Foster. Still got another hour to go. We'll see what we can do. And, you know, if not, we'll reroute. The fight's not till June 30th, so we definitely have some time. And another friend of ours here from Mandalay Bay, he's going to join us to co-host the last 30 minutes. We'll talk to Marvin from the 1923 Bourbon Bar. We still have time to take your calls, so get in the queue at 866-522-2846. Stay close.
You'll never be the same again. I'm gonna keep on.
All right, here we go. It's the second hour of the MMA Junkie Radio Show. Hopefully the timing was okay for Hal on that one.
He likes Michael Jackson.
Does he?
Yeah.
What's getting no? I do too. I just try and go with, see, I don't know my musical terms, but what's that called, Danny? So the song came in, and he goes through a sequence of lyrics, and then all of a sudden you get to the chorus. So I usually trying to time the chorus, let him say the popular catchy phrase, you know, I wanna rock with you all night. Once he says that, then I try and jump in. Some songs are a little bit different. Some have the build-up. Sometimes we have a superstar that's been waiting for 3 minutes. You want to get to it. Sometimes we're pressed against the clock. So yeah, it's a little bit of a shuffle, but that's usually what I'm gunning for, and hopefully I'm doing it right. What do you think, Danny? Could I use some work in that department?
No, I think you've definitely gotten better since you've been saying that's what you've been trying to do. Like I know when
I never sucked. I don't think I've gotten better. I never sucked, did I?
No. But when, like, a while ago, I'd say like maybe a year ago, we used to play an intro, and it wasn't just music coming back in, or we had, what was it? We had either a song that we always came back in with, or something like that. It wasn't where we had something new every single time. So I don't think you had the option to always wait for different songs, type of thing. But yeah, no, I thought it was good.
Should we do it again?
The whole thing?
Yeah.
All right.
Bring us back from commercial, Danny.
Sounds good to me.
And then you chime in and say now is when you think I should do it. Goes, you say now when you think I should do it, and then I'll just do it when I think I should do it. And you guys, let's see if we kind of agree.
All right, come back in.
Okay. I don't hate on that. So you guys are saying even play it out a little longer.
No,
like let
just
them
that particular song.
Let them finish out the chorus.
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah.
Now when you're coming back in, he should be starting something new, and then it
Right.
fades out. But I think it's entirely up to you. Like I think you're the guy that should just whatever you're feeling.
Right.
People got to live with that.
Yeah. Well, the other day we had California Love, and I love it when we get to the Tupac, except it takes a while to get there. And of course, I almost want him to just say what he's got to say and then come in and jump in. But the song was going so long that I felt like we just got to jump in.
The ones that are tricky are when the chorus comes out relatively quickly, because then if you stop it, it's really early. But if you let it go to the next one, sometimes you got to go a little bit further. So I think those are the tricky ones. But I think whatever you pull the trigger on is what everybody's got to live with.
866-522-2846. Let's talk to Kendra, from Humboldt. What's up, Kendra? How you doing?
I'm doing great, gentlemen. And I counted how many lines you just let play. That was 16 lines, 4 stanzas. So you've got that first section and then the first chorus. So I guess give and take whatever the length of the song is. It might be a little long, might be a little short. But if you love it, George, go with your heart.
Thank you.
Of course. Now, is Marvin in studio yet from 1923?
He actually is. He came in. He's very punctual. He came in a little early. Do you want to talk to him?
Well, I just want to compliment him. That was the best old-fashioned of my whole trip in Vegas, the one that I had at the Bourbon Bar. It was also the cheapest, too, because Dean bought it for me. So thank you, Dean, and thank you, Marvin.
The cheapest what?
The cheapest drink that she bought all weekend.
Oh,
Dean bought it.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, how's that a compliment towards Marvin?
Well, the
For allowing
first
Dean in the
compliment
bar.
was that it was the best.
So
there you go.
Dean's not allowed in any bars. This is the first bar he actually made it
props
into.
to Marvin for
No,
letting
we
him
had a really great time. We plan on telling Marvin this when when he gets here. The 1923 bar was awesome. For one, let's just talk about the revolving stage idea that Goes came up with, and
I can't believe they built it out for us. That was awesome.
I happened to be standing behind the scenes, so to see Justin announcing, having the DJ coordinate, and getting it all going, and then shuffling people through the side, that alone was a lot of work. Jason, the intern, helping out.
I couldn't have done it without him.
Then the fact that
Danny.
the setting and Junkie Nation came through by dressing up, that was super cool because the pictures, man, they're memories, and so it was really, really cool to see that. I know some of you didn't. I don't have a problem with that. But the ones that did, it was great. And I think what it did was makes us look forward to the next occasion. And I think
it's a staple.
Now we'll get
to do every time.
75%, maybe closer to 95% of the dress up. I mean, what was cool? And this might sound corny to some, but Junkie Nation really is like a family. There was a couple guys, and I won't throw their names out there, but a couple guys that really have never even dressed up that way. I saw some junkies helping some of the younger junkies how to make a tie. I saw some junkies helping the other guy iron the shirt, or the jacket that they were about to wear. I don't know. I thought that was pretty cool. And, just like I say, the pictures, Lerone, who was this close to not even coming, Lerone from Baltimore, was not even this close to coming to the Junkie Gathering. And then he rallies, comes out, and he looked almost like Rick Ross. He was really, really well dressed.
I think if Rick Ross
very,
saw
very
that in the morning, he'd say, "Damn, what I do last night." I mean, it was really spot on.
I know.
But nobody that dressed up said they regretted it. And when we tried to pitch this in the beginning, we said, I don't really have a good reason as to why you should dress up. It's just the first time Marvin took us in there, I think it was me and Jason, we just looked at each other and said, wow, this is like, you feel like you have to.
Right.
That's the ambiance of the club.
Yeah, because when you go in there, you almost forget you're in Mandalay Bay. You almost forget you're in Vegas. They have the Tommy guns. They have the cigar room. You just kind of have that feeling like, hey, don't tell anyone. Don't spoil it. Let's come back here next week and don't tell anyone. We'll show up and but don't let the secret get out. It's like tucked away and it's a cool spot. So
I want to do they offer burlesque dancers, and we didn't take them up on it because we didn't know how it would work with people coming in and out of the stage.
Yeah,
but I think that'd be fun for next year maybe.
Yeah, that would have been tough. Because the fighters, you just don't know when they're showing up and how to juggle it. So it was a good time. Thanks for bringing it up, Kendra. And great pictures that you guys took, of the event, too. There's some really, really good ones out there.
I completely agree. I would love to go there again next year. And, I mean, some of us can be scrubs when it comes to our casual attire, but when you're hanging out at the sports book, you're going here and there in 100-degree weather, you don't necessarily want to dress up, but it is Vegas, so having a specific venue where we can dress to the nines and come and represent, I would love to do that again.
You want to hear something funny that happened to me that night?
Yeah,
before Kendra's next point?
Remind me to tell you a story about a tie, by the way.
About a tie? Okay. Well, for one, my tie was long. I've discovered in the pictures that I'm a tad long, probably like an inch or two.
You know what the trick
and
is?
I'm an expert at tie making. I do them quick, and I know how to do them. It's just that day I think I did it and goes, yeah, it looks good. But then I saw some pictures, and I was like, I messed up, whatever. My suspenders, I had never wore suspenders. And I guess I had a lot of nerves of how the night might go. And next thing you know, I started sweating profusely. And when I do that, and I think about it, I sweat even more. Anyway, I go to sit down finally because luckily, Marvin, the spot you gave us was, we had the couches, and there was some nice venting that was coming in. I go, ooh, perfect. I'm going to be able to just really chill here, literally chill here. And as I go to sit down, the suspenders snapped and hit the back of my head, Now, I didn't care about the little sting that it gave me because I just, it's one of those where you just go, oh, like, what was that? Almost like someone just coming up. Not Rampage style, but a good slap on the head. That's kind of what it felt like. And so right away I go, how am I going to deal with this? And So I got hit, and I think Squid was around, and he was trying. And basically, I just needed to give it more slack, you know, and I thought I had. But luckily, Juliet Angel comes in and saves the day. You know, she was able to straighten it out, play it off, no big deal. But, yeah, man, I was sweating, the suspenders, and I was a little bit of a wreck early on. Then towards the end, you roll up the sleeves and wipe the sweat off. And at that point, who fucking cares? You have a couple of drinks, you don't care, you know? That's probably what a speakeasy was like in 1923. Yeah, a couple people. Somebody told me, I think Sam Aljan told me he happened to be looking at me when he saw the suspender go "Pah!" and hit me.
No.
And but I don't think anyone else, maybe Squid, but I don't know about live see it like happen, you know?
You guys have cameras in there, Marvin? Oh man, I'd love to see that footage.
Why would we want to do that?
That'd be hilarious, dude.
Yeah, so that happened. It was funny, man. It was a great time, and I have an idea for next year.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, continue, Kendra.
The real concern comes when you are wearing the suspenders because you can't keep your pants up. So thankfully, you were doing it for style, and we all appreciate that.
Yeah.
I do want to say.
Go ahead.
If you do the 2500th show in the OC, I want to reserve a seat for Northern Lights because we will be in Anaheim that week. It would be incredible to join you and help celebrate. So think about that because really one of the most fun events for junkie gatherings or really any get-together is when we get to view a combat sport together, whether it's at Legacies Stadium or we are actually at Tough Enough, seeing them perform. So I would love to do a viewing party as well for UFC 214 simply because there are junkies going to the event, but the pricing is pretty interesting. There are people in the rafters. There are people up front. And so when you go to an event, yes, it's incredible to be there live, but when the junkies are spread out, it's not as cool as when you are sitting with 15, 20 of your closest MMA friends and you are breaking down a card right in front of a screen. So that would be a whole lot of fun. But
Okay.
George, you mentioned
Kendra, real fast. Kendra,
yeah.
call back because it's really choppy. So I don't mind the call continuing, but you got really choppy on us, and I know that's gonna kill the listeners. So just hang up and call right back, and we'll keep talking. Maybe we can get a better connection or something.
Look.
Did she do that?
Yeah.
All right.
I would imagine.
All right. All right. Let's talk about this. Anaheim. Do you want to go to the fights or just be in town for the fights?
I think I just want to be in town for the fights.
So you're co-signing what she's saying? Like, let's just all
Yeah.
get together and watch it somewhere. Okay.
I thought about our good friend, but that room is so small that I don't know that would work.
He's at the outdoor TV too, though.
Now that would work.
Yeah. Especially on a hot summer night. And I think I could talk him into it. I don't know.
We don't have as many connections as we used to.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know viewing party-wise where we would do it or how we would do it because here in Vegas saying we're going to bring 100 people into your club is a lot different than, hey, 15 of my friends are going to come. That's more like Applebee's, right? So,
well, the first show was in a kitchen in Santa Ana, California. I don't think there's a problem with the 2500 show being in a kitchen in the neighboring city of
the
Tustin.
show.
Oh,
I thought you meant
well, no, I mean just headquarters there, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'd have to talk to him and see.
Well, you know where I thought it would be cool, George? Was what if
because
we
JT Schmitz is going to give you, I don't know why. This is the weirdest thing. I really don't know why, but I don't know if it's a Vegas thing, if it's a business thing or what, but do you know that if you go into a business and say, hey, I'd like to do this, all I need is a high-speed connection, even a hotel, they'll go, that's $1,000 to set up. $1,000? Just get the guy in overalls to, bring the hardline, the Ethernet wire, hook it up to my computer, and we're off and running. Where's the charge there? I don't understand how they get away with it, but they do. So, I'm sure JT Schmitz has a hardline internet service. But I guess the whole setup thing, because we have the contraption, we have the component to broadcast from anywhere in the world. All we need is acceptable service. And, I mean, if we could do it out of our house, we don't have the highest speed. We were able to do a show for 2 months.
True.
Then I'm sure it's possible. But it's just that headache. That's where the headaches start. Well, we need $1,000. I have to talk to my manager. How many people do you guarantee will show up? And it's like, we just want to fucking do a show. Can you have us or not? And see, I don't have that type of patience. Luckily, you do. But it is $2,500. So I guess I'll test my patience a little and ask around, and maybe we can do it. But again, we will have to make up for those 3 days to get us right at 2,500. Because I don't want to joke around and say it's really show number 2497, but we're calling it our 2,500. I really want it to be our 2,500. We've always been spot on with that.
Well, I was about to present an idea that would probably give you more of a headache. But what I was going to say was,
what is it?
What if we did that show or the shows leading up at our high schools?
Oh boy. Interesting.
It's 5 days leading up to the event, right?
Mm-hmm.
You went to 2 schools, Immaculate Heart of Mary and Mater Dei, right?
Mm-hmm.
I went to 1, 2, 3. I went to 4.
Mm-hmm.
If I could spare Greenville Elementary, I don't think they're going to want to listen to our show. But you could do a different school every day. I'm sure the schools would be all about it.
Think so?
Yeah. You kidding?
I suppose I can ask, but I don't know.
I would be willing to say, because you went 4 years to one high school, technically 5, I would say do it at Mater Dei, that show.
Yeah, I guess we can chat about it.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. I mean, if we go, we're going for the whole week, right?
It depends. I don't know.
Okay. All right. So let's talk to Brian Foster. We did get a hold of him. Brian Foster will be fighting at PFL. And are they calling it PFL 1 or is it just PFL?
I don't know. I think it's PFL.
Yeah. And Kendra, apologies. Marvin is here. Call back, please, in about 10, 12 minutes, and we'll continue with your call. And we're going to talk. Marvin's going to co-host the last half hour with us. All right. So PFL is basically the 2018 version of what the World Series of Fighting is going to be. For those of you that don't know, they are going in another direction. We've heard about a regular season with playoffs and a $1 million payout for each division's champion. But in the meantime, they have a card that's happening. They're going to get things going this year, and they have a great matchup with Brian Foster and John Fitch. Yesterday, John Fitch was on. Today, we get Brian Foster. Danny, please punch him in. Brian, welcome to the show. How you doing, sir?
What's up, buddy? How are you?
Good, man. Welcome back to MMA Junkie Radio. You're on with George and Goes. I'm going to ask you the same thing I asked John. Why not hold out for the regular season and the tournament, I guess, and that potential $1 million payday? What's this fight all about? Is it about a paycheck, staying active? You just want a piece of John Fitch? What do you attribute this actual matchup for?
Well, I mean, I've had a long layoff. That's a big one. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that kind of guy that likes to sit on the shelf. Never have been.
Mm-hmm.
I love to fight just the way that it is. I seen myself a long time ago fighting Fitch. Fitch was always at the top. I was always aiming that direction, still am. And seems to be the roadblock in my way to continue the path towards that direction. Mm-hmm. And his name's John Fitch. So, I mean, that's kind of where I'm at, man. As far as World Series of Fighting, going ahead and absorbing into PFL 1, I'm not sure with the decision. I mean, why hold off on something that's great? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I mean, the season doesn't start till December.
Right.
I guess they're just getting into their shows. You know what I'm saying? Trying to maybe fill the season and get some good guys in already before they start to fill the slots. You know what I'm saying? Use what roster they have to figure out what guys they want to keep, kind of thing.
Right. This in no way hurts you though, right? For the upcoming tournament, you'll be a participant in the tournament. Have you been told that? I have been told that, man. So I mean, they want me in the tournament at 155 pounds, which I'm excited about. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited for World Series of Fighting, man. I think that they got their head on straight, trying to make it about the fighters. Because I mean, once you give to the fighters, man, they give back and they put on great shows, and fans love it. It's just the way that it is. It's a trickle down situation, and I look forward to doing it, man. I'm happy to be a part of it. Yeah, that was my next question. What weight class you would do it? Because I know you're getting Fitch at 70, but you fought more at lightweight. So you now told us you will be
at lightweight in World Series of Fighting. But I mean, in my UFC career and my earlier on, I was always at 170 pounds, man. You know, and I wasn't that guy that really loved cutting weight. No one was really wanting to pay me the money for the work. You know what I'm saying? Because cutting weight's not easy. It's a 8 to 10 week job of dieting and getting your body in the right position to perform at its best at that weight. So I mean, it's a lot of work, man, and nobody ever wanted to pay me for the work. So therefore, I always felt strong, always felt fast and effective at 70, and that's just the way that it was, man. I had a lot of success at 70. Ran into a few John Fitches along the way. that were able to kind of dictate their strength a little bit, which made the drop to 55 a little easier for me. But we rounded that off, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm strong. You know what I'm saying? I'm fast. I think that the diet and going to 55 the last couple of years has helped me a lot as far as where I am and going into this fight at 70. I used to have a problem with my cardio and stuff like that because I was just, I was 170 pounds. I'd walk in 176, 177 and drop to 170. That's not a lot, but just I'm always aggressive, so cardio would be an issue, So going to 55, and training in Colorado, my cardio is not a problem anymore, and it hasn't been for a while.
Brian, I wanted to ask you, what have you heard, because the details are slow in coming in, how many fights are you away from a $1 million payout next year?
I haven't really been able to decipher that yet, man. You know what I'm saying? It's such a new layout and platform that there's not a lot of answers on the table for a lot of us right now. So, I mean, when I find out, you'll probably already know. So, I mean, I feel like, a tournament in my mind is usually 4 fights. You know what I'm saying? I have a chance to fight 3 fights that night, maybe 4 fights. It just depends. And then you got the 3 regular fights in the season. So there's just no telling, man. You know what I mean? I haven't had any kind of factual statements about it yet.
If you beat their last champion, which is John Fitch, would you consider entering?
The last champion.
Would you consider entering as a welterweight, or are you set on lightweight for the $1 million tournament?
I don't know, man. You know what I mean? It's opportunities are there. I'm not gonna rush it away. I like to fight, dude. I don't give a damn if it's a heavyweight. You know what I mean? I've said it my entire career. I'll fight whoever. I mean, Brock Lesnar walk up to me right now and call my mama a whore, and I'm gonna whoop his big ass. That's the way it is.
Isn't Kevin Lee the one that does the mama jokes, not Brock Lesnar?
Well, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know. Brian Foster, our guest here on MMA Junkie Radio, 27-9 overall, fighting on June 30th versus John Fitch. Most impressive thing goes about those 27 wins, 26 were finishes, 13 subs, 13 TKOs. That's a nice, balanced, aggressive attack. Goes, what do you have for Brian Foster?
Well, we share the same mama, George. What would happen if Brock said that about our mom?
I'd have you distract him, and I'd hit him with a bat in the back of the head.
Yeah? I think I'd just go, hey, casinos are loud.
Yeah.
I don't know what that guy
Where there's
said.
a will, there's a way.
Yeah.
Brian, so George mentioned it. John Fitch, he's the belt. Basically, the belt goes away with him, right? But getting a win over him, does that kind of make you the unofficial champ? Is there a little street cred that goes along with that?
Beating John Fitch is beating John Fitch, man. That's enough credit in itself. You know what I'm saying? That guy's been, you can look at his record, he's been 15, 19 decisions, some shit like that. Been finished a handful of times by good, aggressive guys. Yeah, beating John Fitch it's a credit in itself, man. You know what I'm saying? The title, to me, it would have been great for my sons, to be able to, say that I had a championship that they love those things. They love those belts. They love when I bring back that prize stuff. They love that shit. They don't see the money. They see the trophies that Dad brings home and the shit they show their friends. So it was a little disappointing to know to think that I was losing the fucking title, but the opportunity's still there, man. I love fighting, and John Fitch is a more than formidable opponent, man. So I'm gonna give him all I got, dude. You can bet your ass on that.
Anytime we ever talk to you, you're always there's certain fighters that are very chill up until the fight, and then they get really intense. You're always intense from, I think, the moment the fight's even announced. When does that switch turn for you?
As soon as I hear about the fight, now I don't know. Not even then, more so. The way I explain to all my students, man, I'm always preparing for something, even if I don't have an opponent. So it's like I'm always, I'm always fighting that shadow, man. When I'm shadow boxing, I'm actually boxing that shadow. You know what I mean? Like it's actually somebody in front of me. I've always got an objective. I've always got something to get better at. To grow, areas to grow in. The intensity is just something I was born with, man. I feel like that's something I got to carry throughout the entire span of my life, just to show my passion about things. I'm a truly passionate, driven dude, and I feel like I was dealt the short end of the stick when I was younger, so it kind of made me aggressive towards becoming successful, and the aggression's kind of just stuck. You know what I mean?
I remember meeting you. Do you remember those? It was with Mark Fiore, right?
Yeah.
Mark Fiore, and then what was the other gentleman that wound up being a kickboxer? He was a high school football player.
Dustin's coach.
Dustin, yeah, that's right. You were in our studio at Mandalay Bay, and at that time,
Yeah, I'm still with him.
Your career was
Me
just.
and Dustin are still together.
Oh, that's cool. That's great to hear. Tell him we said hello. Is he still kickboxing?
Yeah, he is, man. Yeah, he is. Still kickboxing for glory. He had his arm broken championship last year. Sometime he's been rehabbing that, but he'll be ready to go here soon, man.
Well, I just remember at that time, you were going through some hard times and just, weren't sure about your career. And right now I'm listening to you, and you sound like very confident, calm, at peace. So I'm really glad things turned around. And this is a great fight. I can't wait to see it, you versus John Fitch. And then, of course, the things that PFL has lined up for next season with $1 million at stake, that could be a life changer for a lot of you. So I wish you the best of luck, and it's great to hear from you again, Brian. I'm glad we were able to catch up.
I sure appreciate that, man.
Brian, is there anything you want to say to your fans before we let you go? I'll plug the Twitter. It's Brian Foster MMA. But anything else you want to plug or say to your fans, go ahead, man, before we let you go.
Just, my hometown, my family, my friends, my teammates back home, Family Combat Fitness and MMA, you know what I'm saying? They got Factory X, my family up here in Colorado. There's just a lot of people, man, a lot of sponsors. My manager, Brian Butler, who Sucker Punch Entertainment. Hayabusa, there's quite a few, man. Tactical Tattoo. There's a lot of people that support me and have backed me through the entire time. Like you said earlier, you didn't know quite where my career was headed a long time ago, man. And a lot of people stuck behind me through that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and those people know who they are, man. You know what I mean? They're forever indented in my heart, man. And I'll always contribute some sort of my success to them people because of where they stand in my life. So those people know who they are, man. And just anybody and everybody, man. If you like fighting, you like mixed martial arts, be sure to check out June 30th, man, NBC Sports Network, because I'm not going to let it go, man. Fireworks for sure.
That's what's up. Thanks, Brian, for the time. Take care, man.
No problem, brother.
All right. See you. All right, folks. That's Brian Foster. Again, on Twitter, at Brian Foster MMA. He fights on June 30th versus John Fitch. We're going to take a quick break here. When we come back, we will have Marvin from the 1923 Bourbon Bar chat with us. We'll chat a little bit about Bourbon Bar. And, of course, another project that he's got going on, a company called Full. I hope I'm saying this right. Micro Pigmentation? Pigmentation. Okay. Pigmentation. And we're going to talk more about that and an opportunity he has for any fighter that may be listening. It's very interesting. Go to scalp.com, fullscalp.com, and get acquainted with that. While we take this break, pay some bills, we'll be right back on the MMA Junkie Radio Show on SiriusXM Rush 93.
charm, compassion, common sense. These guys have none of that. You listen to them, so you're no better. I am awesome, though. They are Gorgeous George and Goes.
All right, you guys get on over to fullscalp.com. We're going to talk about that with Marvin Furrow from what we know him as, the guy over at the 1923 Bourbon Bar, the general manager there, our good friend.
Or the guy that was juking us in practice.
Superstar flag football athlete. He was on our team versus Extreme Couture. We hung in there with him for a while, right?
We did.
We scored first, and then we cut it to 6-4 on a play that had some controversy involving our good friend Chase Coburn from Tough Prince. They wound up taking the TD away from us, so it was back to 6-3. I think it went to 7-4 in exchange of TDs, and then I think they got us. I think when Marvin left, they wound up 8-3, 8-4, something like that.
8-4.
Yeah. 8-4. So we're just counting points. We're not going through the whole touchdown, extra point.
Well, what were we saying about Conor McGregor, right? If he survives to the end, it's kind of a victory. Hey man, we survived to the end.
Well, and then they had a core of about 10 to 12 guys that played, and they're in great shape, the professional athletes, and we're trying to make sure everybody plays, like Pop Warner, everybody plays, you know, make sure all the parents are happy. And look, nothing against all of Junkie Nation, but I think all of Junkie Nation would admit, I'm not a football player, but they all wanted to say, hey, I played against Extreme Couture, so we made that happen. Most people got in, you know, some people got in more plays than others, that's fine. Then for a while I went into dick mode. I was like actually benching players. I had to do it, man, I had to do it. And but I still think overall it was a good time. You missed the barbecue at the end, but we had a barbecue thanks to Sam the chef. So that was cool. It was just, I mean, it was a great way to kick off the Junkie Gathering. Yeah. Anyway, Marvin, so thanks for participating in that.
It's a lot of fun.
He was one of our star players, man. And thanks for hosting us Friday, 3 days later, at the Junkie Gathering celebration of our 10-year, 2,500 shows. We had a great time, and you, honestly, you in that spot, the 1923 Bourbon Bar, gave us memories for life. So thanks for opening your doors for us and just being so accommodating and cool and letting us take over.
Yeah, it was a blast for us as well to have you guys there, especially with the fighters coming out and turning every 5 minutes around the stage. It was a blast just kind of watch it and see how the Junkie Nation was pretty much livid every time someone would turn around, never knew who was going to be there, and it was a lot of fun, a lot of energy. It was nice to see the place up in arms like that. It was awesome.
Yeah. How did we measure up as a group in terms of dressing up? Like, are there some hardcores that just blow us out of the water? And you can say if there is, or did we keep up with some of your crowds that you have?
Definitely kept up. There's a lot of guys that was dressed to the nine. I mean, just like so 20 style. It was awesome. It's just good to see the people participating in the vibe, and kind of like your idea for next year.
Yeah. We'll keep that under wraps.
Keep it under wraps. I won't say anything.
You know about it? No, you don't?
No.
Okay. I mean, I can reveal it. I guess I don't see what the big deal would be to reveal it in 6 months, today, or tomorrow. I don't know, whatever. But I think I have a good one, Goes. So you tell me. It's up to you.
Yeah, reveal it. I mean, eventually they're going to find out anyway, right?
I mean, only us two know. I may have mentioned it to Juliet. But I'll say it. Okay, I really love that everyone dressed up. And I would do it again if Marvin were to go, fuck no, it's 23, bitch. Then okay, we'll just do it. I got the outfit, right? I'll just maybe change up the color of the tie and throw everyone off. But anyway, I was telling Marvin, I go, would you mind if we did it again, except next year we just draw an X, or no, we cover the 2 and put a 7, and just for one night call it 1973 Bourbon Bar, and then we all come in disco.
70s style.
And play 70s music.
Disco style.
Bell bottoms.
Because for a while, some people were out there grooving and dancing a little bit, but we never got that part, I guess, going, because it was more about just everyone interacting with fighters and pictures and, admiring the outfits and buying each other drinks, having a cigar, this, that, whatever. But I think one thing that we probably could have done was maybe get in there and dance it up a little bit. And the 70s, disco just has that a little bit of that vibe, I guess.
And Sam All Jam wouldn't have to get an outfit, right?
No, he just...
how about 80s though?
83? 1983? Yeah. We could. I don't mind that either. That is my generation, the 80s. So I guess we'd coming in with preppy style, pink alligator shirts or something.
You want to wear that same outfit that we wore when we were kids?
Oh, that would be funny. Yeah, we had an outfit
you want to see it, Marvin?
that we could recreate. Can you put it up here?
Yeah, I might be able to do that.
All right. Let me know because I think I have it on Instagram. 83, 73, whatever. I mean, I mean, I've really fallen in love with that place.
Yeah.
It's cool. We went in there after the fights. We hung out. After you left, Stitch Duran came by, so he was telling us a little bit about the the Ward fight.
The other night.
Oh, the other night
Yeah.
after the fight, yeah.
Yeah, you had to go for the helicopter ride?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, yeah. So he was telling us a little about because he was in Ward's corner for the fight.
Okay.
Against Kovalev, and could have used some of that intel before the fight, you know, get over to the sports book. But no, either way, I thought Ward would win. I just didn't think he'd finish him. Yeah.
No way. I didn't think he was going to knock him out either. I was like, Ward by decision, but, you know, never a knockout. Kovalev's a beast, and, you know, he hit him clean. I don't know if those punches were that low, like they were saying, but they're pretty borderline to me. You know, and if he had an issue, he should have just took a knee. You know, take a knee.
Yeah.
Just don't stand there. You know,
It's true.
Just don't hunch over and not move.
I think the referee did give him a signal as far as like, hey, I didn't see it. You know, fight till the whistle blows or till the referee stops the action. So who knows? But yeah, I've seen in the past you do that and you're so helpless that a referee will interject.
Stop it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tony Weeks has been around, so he knows.
This is a picture we took. I think it was an Easter in the '80s. So see how preppy we were. Goes is all blue, and I think I have white pants with pink and a pink sweater. So we could do 1983 and just replicate that outfit right there.
I like it.
Yeah.
Especially the sweaters around the neck.
or 73, whatever.
Why did you sit like that though? Because
Me?
it almost makes you look like a ventriloquist, and I'm a dummy. If we were standing, I think it would have been better.
Yeah, I suppose you should have been sitting there and I should have been standing, right? And then we would have evened out.
Really would have been a dummy.
I think what happened was Mom and Dad just wanted a picture of me, and then somehow you bitched like, all right, get him in the picture. Stealing the limelight, you know. But I think it was basically just going to be a picture of myself is what it boiled down to.
What year was that?
Probably.
What do you look there, about 5?
Nah, like 4 maybe.
Oh, I'm so off. All right, so that would make go 1982.
82?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I like how it goes, no, 4,
Well,
not 5.
I was in kindergarten at 5, and I know I didn't look like that in kindergarten.
Okay.
That's why.
All right. So, listen, aside from 1923 Bourbon Bar and flag football, superstardom, you are involved in micropigmentation.
Sure.
Full micropigmentation.
Yep.
And I want to start off with basically here in this pamphlet that I see, why choose micropigmentation? You know, a lot of people say embrace being bald or embrace Mother Nature, but then I know a lot of people do, like including yours truly, you know, you look at a picture like that, you're like, damn, I used to be able to do a lot more, you know. But I guess what is your strongest push for why people should do
I think
that?
it's just getting their confidence back. You get a lot of people who, you know, they're thinning, they don't want to let go of what they have, and they're looking for solutions, and sometimes they spend a lot of money on transplant surgeries, which could cost anywhere from 15 to 20 grand and leaves a big scar behind your neck, aka LeBron James, and it never really works.
He did it?
Oh yeah, you can see the scar on his neck, or around his head there. They take some donor hair and they move it to the front, but fortunately you can only pull so much hair from a little scar to the whole head and, you know, fill your head up.
Oh my God, is that what happens?
Yeah, and it takes anywhere from 2 to 3 years, and sometimes it doesn't even work. So what happens is you're just left with a scar and a lot of thinning hair on top. Well, what we do is we replicate the hair follicles in your hair by using ink, an organic-based ink, and we pretty much measure and look at your old existing hair follicles there, and we replicate your hair follicles, and we use like I said, an organic-based ink, and we just fill in your head, and it looks like you just shaved your head. It's completely natural, and it's non-surgical, it's instant, and people just don't know. They can't tell the difference. I mean, you're looking at me right now, and you have no idea. My dentist, chiropractors, and even your girlfriend will just touch your head, and, you know, they won't even know. They have no clue. I have no idea. But it's good for, you know, for you if you want your self-confidence, or people who have like alopecia, scars, burn victims, whatnot. We fix their lives. Yeah, it's more than just, you know, just regular people. So just regular confidence or whatnot. But yeah.
How long does it last?
10 years.
10 years. Okay.
Sometimes longer. Just depends on how well you take care of it. It's like I said, it's a permanent solution, but it's instant. I mean, you don't have to not worry if it's going to work or not. You literally walk out the office and it's done. So.
Now, how long does that take? Is it just one visit?
It's about 3 sessions. Okay. So about a week in between each session. Depends how much volume we got to cover. You got a little spot in the back, you know, maybe an hour. But if you got a whole head, it could take anywhere from 3 to 4 hours. You wait a week, come back, because it'll soften up and heal. and then you go over the procedure one more time, do a touch-up on the third pass, and you're good for about 10 years. Yeah.
10 years? And I take it this isn't 20 grand.
No.
Like the other thing you described, the hair transplant.
Yeah, it's anywhere from, I'd say from 1,500 to about 5,000.
Okay.
Yeah, just depends on how much volume you got to cover, or what we got to do. If it's like a whole bunch of scars on your head.
Now, what does that mean? How much volume? Is that like a
Like
nice way of saying if you got a big head or if you don't have
got
a big head?
If you got a big, bald, empty head, it's gonna take you. It's gonna take us a while. It's a lot more ink and a lot more time. I mean, we're literally putting one follicle in at a time. So it's a process.
Is this when you commit to basically your head will be the same everywhere, or will you still?
It'll be the same. It'll pretty much it does look like you just shaved your head, but you have a full head of hair essentially. So it's that clean look. You know, you don't look like the Krusty the Clown look. You know, or it's just on the side or whatnot. You know, Mr. Burns or whatever you want.
Mr. Burns, yeah.
Yeah. So essentially like that. Yeah.
Would a guy like do you know who Landon Donovan is?
Yeah.
Would he be like a
He's a
prime
great-
candidate for something like that?
A Mono Ginobili, perfect. I mean,
There
he's
you
a big
go.
spot in the back, you know, or just anybody. I mean,
Cole Miller, the MMA fighter.
Well, that's what we're getting at. So,
Yeah.
Marvin, you guys are offering an MMA fighter to do this, and this is something that's worth a lot.
Yeah.
Is there like a guy that sticks out for you? Because we have one that we think would be perfect.
Not off the top of my head. I mean, if you know.
Is that a pun?
Yeah, not off the top of my head, no.
How
So
about
if
you,
if
George?
you have any in mind, just
Excuse me?
So you said Cole Miller?
Well, I mean, okay. First of all, is your business just based in Vegas, or
It is.
okay?
It's just Vegas.
So if we're just limiting it to Vegas, then I threw out Cole Miller because that's one guy that stands out on the Landon Donovan chain, you know.
Okay.
But Vegas based, I'd have to think about it.
How about Randy Couture?
Couture, yeah. Could definitely ask him.
I think that'd be a good one.
Yeah.
Because we could draw out a hairline, make it natural, whatever you like. You know, it's we could change it as we go. You know, it's pretty on the fly what we could do, but it's a natural look. I mean, no one has no clue. You have no idea. I mean, go to our website at fullscalp.com and you won't be able. You can see the differences before and afters, and if you have any type of scarring or alopecia, that's pretty bad.
That's a bald spot?
Alopecia. Basically, it's kind of disease when you're born with it. It just reoccurs and goes away. But
I didn't know that. You
It
know
can
what I
happen
always
anywhere,
thought?
though. Like some guys get it in their eyebrows and beard.
So what I always thought was when I saw that is that somebody as a kid probably like fell off a diving board or their skateboard and just got a scar, and so then when you see them bald, I thought maybe it was just some sort of an injury. From the past.
Yeah.
It's that common, huh?
It's pretty common. I mean, and like I said, it comes up. So what we do is we just do your whole head, and then if it ever comes back again, you won't be able to tell. It's pretty amazing.
Now, when we bring this up, we all think of males, but this is popular for females as well,
Females
right?
as well. A lot of females do. They have alopecia, number one, or they have thinning hair or diffuse thinning, or a lot of them use extensions. They have like a hair extensions, and what happens when that happens, it pulls away their natural hair and it doesn't grow back. So a lot of time we fill that in as well. I think we were talking about with your cousin the other day.
Jennifer Lopez?
Jennifer Lopez part 2? Yeah, absolutely. She was mentioning that like a lot of her customers have extensions and their hair never grows back. So she thought it was a great idea for that.
Very cool. And this is Vin Diesel right here?
That is Vin Diesel. What we did there are simulations.
Oh, I see.
Because we could do a simulation for you. If you're bald, we could show you what you would look
And
like.
that's Jason Statham?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, it does really change Statham. It gives him a younger look.
It takes a good 10 years off, yeah.
I'm trying to see what the right word is. What's that?
This is alopecia, if it ever pops up. But that's the difference.
Oh, shit. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
That is drastic.
It's pretty amazing.
Very cool. How long have you been involved in this?
A few years now. Definitely a few years now. It's a new technology. It came from the United Kingdom. It's been in the U.S. for a little bit, a couple of years, but we're the only company here in Las Vegas that is fully dedicated to micropigmentation and helping people out.
Is this your outfit? You own it?
Yes.
Oh, congrats.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to take this quick break. You're listening to MMA Junkie Radio on SiriusXM Rush 93. Again, fullscalp.com for more information here on this micropigmentation that we're talking about with Marvin Furrow, who you all know, Junkie Nation, as the GM of the 1923 Bourbon Bar, but he's also involved here with this company. We'll be right back to close up shop And if you have any questions, we can sneak in a call or two. We already have Sam from Chicago on hold, 866-522-2846. You can make it in too. Call in now, though. Hurry up.
Sprung from cages on Highway 9.
Maybe it was a dumb answer,
They are the stretch marks on the underbelly of the MMA community. But hey, stretch marks are the new tats. They are Gorgeous George and Goes.
Let's talk to Sam from Chicago, the chef that cooked everything up after our loss to Extreme Couture. Definitely softened the blow, that's for sure. It was a great time there. What's up, Sam? How you doing?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good, man. How about you?
Did you do this interview with the Bourbon Bar? Kind of like to make fun of me before I called.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
This is the guy that passed out and woke up the next morning. He was all dressed in his tie and every dress shoes, and then he said, "I'm gonna lay down for a second," and then woke up the next morning and missed the party.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Can we tell everybody why?
yeah, that's
Mr.
fine.
Cheech over here went a little too hard, and yeah, well, I think one of them little space cakes, you know, he floated out to the farthest planet and just couldn't get back in time. You're supposed to, you know, I guess space out, maybe make it to Mars, get back, you know, make it back to our planet, and this guy was somewhere in Pluto range or
black
whatever.
hole.
Yeah, and just completely missed
Yeah, but you
our
guys-
10-year celebration.
You got to remember, you guys had cookies, donuts, and brownies on the table, and it was like 11 o'clock in the morning. So no reason for those things to be out there that early.
Yeah.
So. Hey, by the way, I'm going to go out to I just got my room reservations to see the Conor McGregor fight. Do you guys know if they're going to do pay-per-view or how that works?
Oh, yeah, they're going to do pay-per-view, Sam.
No, I think what it means is for viewing parties, right?
Yeah, like viewing parties. How does that work?
Yeah,
'Cause
they're
I've
going to
never
do
been
viewing
out
parties,
there.
Sam.
There will be viewing parties in every hotel. I guarantee it. And also, they may even do closed circuit. Sometimes they try and do closed circuit. Sometimes they do theaters. It'll be pretty special. And what I'm hearing is they're going to do a media tour across different cities. So stay tuned for that. And that's when I think they'll divulge ticket pricing, the pay-per-view, the amount of the pay-per-view, maybe undercard. I'm sure it'll be mostly Mayweather fighters, money team fighters. It will be a straight boxing event. There won't be no hybrid MMA or nothing going on. So we look forward to it. Thanks for calling in, Sam. We got to move on. We're going to close up shop here.
All right, thanks.
All right. Marvin, we have about 30 seconds left. You were saying also for kids that have cancer, I mean, this is a full spectrum, of people that you can help out here. Males, females, kids,
anybody with thinning hair or no hair.
Right. Fullscalp.com, and again, you're offering to any MMA fighter that wants to step up, they'll get the service
procedure
comped to get a hold of you. So, or you can get a hold of us, and we'll pass it on to Marvin. That's awesome, man. Thanks for sharing that here with us.
Appreciate it.
And again, thanks for the memories you gave us. And anytime you want to come in here, man, if there's any update here with anything going on here or special events, just come on through.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it, guys.
All right. Thanks to Brian Foster. We got him. Greg Savage, thanks for hooking that up. Tomorrow we'll be back with another edition of MMA Junkie Radio. Carlos Fodor, Jason High, Dakar Close. We're out of here. Be champions.